There are a lot of rumors about zombies in this year's new Call of Duty. So in this video, we're going over everything we know so far about zombies in what could be Modern Warfare 3. Officially, we know nothing, but leaks and rumors for zombies started back on May 10th of this year. And it all came from Insider Gaming, who dropped a bombshell article about the reveal of this year's game with the dates, the timings, and even beta weekends, finalized it by saying sources have also revealed that zombies will be coming to Call of Duty 2023 on launch, but what exactly that entails remains to be seen. What they initially reported was that zombies was not going to be traditionally round-based, but instead be coming to the game in a different mode. A few days later, this was followed up to say that several sources have said that the mode is essentially an Outbreak 2.0. And after Insider Gaming corroborated with trusted and vetted sources, they believe that round-based zombies is almost certainly coming as a major reboot in 2024 and not in Call of Duty 2023. It's understood the current plan is to introduce zombies as a different experience between now and Treyarch's next title. Fast forward to just a few days ago, and data miners found references to Outbreak within the files of Modern Warfare 2, where the name of the file itself was related to the supposed code name of this year's Call of Duty game, Jupiter. And that information was shared on Twitter by a group called @141Leakers. So what we can gather is it seems likely, at least from what leakers are hearing, that despite all the odds and how absurd it is that a zombies mode will be in a Modern Warfare themed game, it sounds like it's actually likely. And for the very small percentage of you out there watching this video that does not know what Outbreak mode is, it is very different from the traditional round-based mode that we've seen since World at War Zombies. This is a large-scale zombies experience which takes place on a massive open world map where you are freely open to do whatever you want within that map. There's no doors to purchase with points or any map progression. The map is just completely open, and it usually takes place on a massive scale multiplayer map repurposed for the mode that we saw within Cold War. And simply put, you survive against the limitless hordes of the undead by completing objectives and then optionally exfilling to safety or jumping to the next world to complete the next objective. Now, this mode has divided zombies fans because it's of course very different to the round-based zombies that we've known and loved. But during Black Ops Cold War's year, there were several free-to-play weekends for this mode where apparently it broke all-time player records as the most played zombies mode in all of Treyarch Zombies history. And when you hear it, it is just hard to believe. But clearly there was something about this mode that the mainstream Call of Duty community that maybe don't touch round-based because it might be slightly more hardcore found this approach to zombies a lot more approachable. So combining all of that data and the fact that Outbreak in Black Ops Cold War was the very first time that they had ever tried a mode like that, and with that level of success, Activision are definitely going to want to try and amplify that the next time it comes around, whether it would be in Modern Warfare 3 or for Treyarch's next title. And of course for Treyarch, it's something which they've mentioned they had planned to try and do for years and years and years. So of course, that being their first iteration of it, it's a no-brainer that they're going to take what they learned from the first version of it and reiterate it to make it even better next time around. Now, to this day, we are still unsure exactly on who is developing this mode for Modern Warfare 3, if it even is happening. In recent months, there has been job listings at Treyarch Studios mentioning that they're looking for a new senior designer that can work on large-scale maps for Warzone and Outbreak mode, which confirms that Treyarch are definitely working on Outbreak, regardless if it's this year's game or next year's game. But as we've seen for the last few years of Call of Duties, all of the studios are on board to help develop these games now, where we have the main studio that are piloting it, but every other studio is also helping and working on it, so it could be likely that Treyarch are working on the zombies mode for Modern Warfare 3. But as ridiculous as it sounds for there to be zombies within the Modern Warfare universe, you need to remember that all of these new modern games post-2019 are all connected, whether you like it or not. Within Call of Duty Warzone, back in December 2020, there was a new intel file within Warzone that suggested that the Dark Ether story also takes place in the same universe as Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War, with a letter here about Requiem with some scribbles on the top of it, all the way back from 1983. Then of course we had the Voidenoid, which brought zombies to Verdansk and took over all of Verdansk, so it had to be destroyed. All of that is completely canon across all the games, and it still is canon now. So whilst there will always be deniers, there is absolutely no doubt that if zombies does take place in Modern Warfare 3, that it will be connected to the wider universe. It could be a chance for Treyarch to flesh out this new Dark Ether backstory even more than what we got in Vanguard, which was interesting to say the least. So how exactly would this Outbreak 2.0 mode work work within Modern Warfare 3? Well, the leak suggests that it will follow a similar format to what we saw with Black Ops Cold War, but this time it could take place on the new Warzone map that will be coming to tie in with Modern Warfare 3, which is rumored and hinted to be Las Almas. So there is a chance that this outbreak mode could take place on the Las Almas map, but again, that is just an assumption at this point in time. Nothing at all is confirmed. If you want my opinion on all of this, and I think that zombies is probably the only option that they could choose for a third mode, because if we look at the track history of Spec Ops in Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2, it's just never really gotten off the ground, and I don't think it has the chance to. They tried fleshing that mode out in 2019 and it just did not have a lot of players, and the traditional Spec Ops mode in MW2 started off good but then just very quickly slipped with zero support. Raids was a fantastic addition to Spec Ops in my opinion, but I worry that the amount of people that played them was just not enough to warrant the development time and cost. So I feel as good as they were, I don't think we'll see them again, and it's just very clear that no matter how you try to create a new third mode to rival zombies, it just never seems to work. And zombies is as much a staple to Call of Duty as multiplayer. A game without zombies doesn't really feel the same for a lot of players. I've seen an interesting conversation as well that Warzone is definitely the priority now and multiplayer has taken a backseat, and I worry that this might happen as well with Outbreak becoming the priority for zombies and round-based taking a backseat, although I feel that's a scenario we will only see with this year's Call of Duty game, and Treyarch's Black Ops game next year will not follow that same suit, because you cannot have a Black Ops Zombies game without there being traditional round-based zombies as well as Outbreak. I feel if this year they just focus solely on Outbreak, tying it in with this year's COD, and then constantly updating it throughout the year, improving it up to the point where we get their Black Ops game next year. At that point, we have a fully fledged open world Outbreak mode that can then integrate fully into Black Ops 2024, and then we get round-based on launch as well, so the two can coexist together. We saw that with Black Ops Cold War, there was more or less like a sort of split down the middle of round-based support and then Outbreak support, so it's clear that there are definitely players that love either or, so it makes sense that both of those modes get a lot of love and support when it comes to Treyarch's actual full year with their own game. But I discuss all of this because there was a very interesting discussion and rumor that was brought on Twitter by Margwa Network, who clarified that during some part of last year, Treyarch was unsure on the future of round-based zombies in COD 2024. They didn't want to remove round-based zombies for good, but they wanted to have a stronger emphasis and more focus on Outbreak and newer modes. Apparently, whilst focusing on this new innovation, they feared backlash from nostalgic fans of round-based, and it's possible that this is all resolved, however, leaving round-based open for it to be in COD 2024. Now again, this is all just a rumor. We don't know if any of it is true, and we have a tweet from the Associate Director of Design at Treyarch, Kevin Drew, in charge of zombie systems and Outbreak, who hysterically replied to a tweet from Lex, where Lex said he was scared that there weren't going to be round-based zombies in the future, and he said, "That is absolutely stupid. Of course there will be round-based in the future." But looking at it from a level head, if I was Treyarch, I would also be a little bit confused, because clearly they want to put all of their development time into round-based zombies when they had such a success with Outbreak, and clearly they have more that they want to do with that mode. How do you juggle doing both of those things? So it might seem like a bit of a tactical idea from Treyarch to, instead of release both modes with their game next year, to quickly put something together for this year's game so that we can have that mode and we can have some zombies content. And then instead of the two modes competing with each other, launching on the same time on the same day next year, we just get round-based next year, which lives alongside Outbreak, which will still get updates and will all exist within one big zombies ecosystem. When it comes to the zombies leaks and rumors coming from Insider Gaming, they have a proven track record of being correct, so I don't doubt that they are this time around, but it's still so hard to imagine that a Modern Warfare game will have zombies when the creators of the original 2019 Modern Warfare strictly didn't want zombies in because it wasn't realistic, but here we are potentially getting it in the third game. But as soon as we learn anything official for zombies in this year's Call of Duty game, I'll be sure to let you know, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts. Are you excited about the idea of the likeliness of zombies coming to this year's game, even though it's a Modern Warfare game? Are you just itching for zombies at this point like I am? Let me know your thoughts.